All right. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everybody. So today we are going to look at the next aspect of our lecture, which is in week 7. Okay. So today we are going to look at regarding the real estate market or even the market itself. It will be presented by me today, and I also hope everybody is doing well. So for the introduction is that it is important to be careful about how a market is defined, and the following key marketing process rely on a relevant market definition that is relating towards the measuring a market share, measuring the market size and also growth, specify the target customer, identify relevant competitors, and also for you to formulate a marketing strategy. So in regard towards this lecture, you are also needed to relate together with the assignment that has been given before this. So a definition of market. We can see several definitions. First of all, by Kotler 2009, market is the set of all actual and potential buyer of a product or service. It is also a group of people or organization with wants and needs that can be satisfied by the particular product category. And this definition suggests that a market is the total value or volume of products that satisfy the same customer need. Meaning in this definition, the market is actually what people want and what people need. Because in the market itself, we must provide either the product that we have produced, or even the services that we can give. So for this sense, in our profession, we can either give both. Either the professional services that we give, like for example, property management services, or even the product. The product in this sense is like the property being offered by our organization. If your organization is selling a double story terrace houses or even a mixed development project, so this is all of the products that you can offer to prospective buyers. So definition of market, for example, if the market need is to eat breakfast, then the relevant market could be defined as breakfast food market. So in this sense, if eating breakfast is the market, and then the products given must include items such as breakfast cereals, nutrition bar, porridge or oats, breads, and also fast food outlets serving breakfast like even McDonald's or even KFC. So this is a good example of a market. I've taken the picture of Gerbang Malam or even the Memory Lane, Pasar Karat in the township of Ipoh. So you can see from this market, they are selling their products. Like this stall is selling their belt. This stall is selling shirts, sport jerseys, and other stalls are selling headscarves and others. So you can see this is the product, this is the seller inside the store, and the people outside, the viewers, or even the uncles, the aunties walking around is the prospective buyers. This is also another good example of a market which we can see the sellers, they are selling their products or even on a boat or a canoe. So they can cook they can cook the food there, and then the prospective buyers can see what they are cooking, and then they can do the exchange. They can do the exchange with the food and the money being paid by the buyers. Okay, so this is another good example of a market. So essentially markets is what we can see where either a physical place or even a virtual place where you conduct transactions. So this is a very general explanation towards a market. But in our profession, we are going to look more towards the real estate market, right? So In defining a market, it is important not to focus only on the product and services, but also you need to think about what the customer needs first, and then identify the products that meet those needs. So this is the best way to define a market. So if a customer is hungry, then you can offer up products to satisfy the hunger. It means you offer up food products to them. So that is essentially what we are going to define market in this sense. Okay. So next we go towards a qualified market. So qualified customers are defined as those who seek a solution to a need and are eligible to make a purchase, possess the financial ability to make the purchase, and have the authority to make the decision. So if you are trying to sell real estate products, so of course you have to see the criteria that the potential customer or buyer have. So if, for example, a potential buyer is not eligible to make purchases, the potential buyer is blacklisted by either CITOS or SICRIS or Bank Negara. So of course that particular buyer, they don't have the ability to make financing loans. So either they have to purchase uh, through their own money only. So it means they have to fork out a very large capital to purchase properties, and they don't have the ability to make the loans. Have the authority to make the decision. So if you are trying to sell a product, of course, the person who holds the financial ability, who holds the money, and of course, is what you can say is the leader of the household, they have the authority to make decision to make the purchase. So if you are trying to sell a house and you are offering it to the child of the parent, then of course the child cannot have the authority to make the decision to purchase the house. They can persuade their parent, but eventually this kind of big decisions is going to be decided by the person who has the authority. Okay? So other types of market. So for example, you can see the types of services like in Patong Beach, Phuket, Thailand. So you can see here the services that they can give, the restaurants here, the bars, the clubs, or whatsoever. So this is also even though it is very late in the night, the products and services that they offer here caters to people wanting to get entertainment, to get drinks, to purchase souvenirs and others. So this is also a very fine example of what a market is all about. So companies' ability to serve market. To an organization, a market can only exist if the solutions sought by customers are ones that the company can satisfy with their offerings. And if a company identifies a group of customers who are qualified to make purchases, they only became a market for the company once the company is in a position to execute marketing activities designed to service those customers. So you can see here from the conceptual diagram that we have. So we are going to look at from a very big demographic of prospective customers. Like this one is the biggest. So the total population. You can find out what is the total population of the world, what is the total population of people in Asia, what is the total population in Southeast Asia, and in our case study in Malaysia. So Malaysians accounts for about 32 million right now, and how you are going to concentrate from 32 million, you try to narrow down towards the potential market to purchase houses. So maybe half than that, or even a quarter than that. So about 7 million people. 7 million people looking to purchase single story terrace house. Might be only around 1 million people from the 7 million, they want to get a single story terrace house. Then the persons who are really qualified to purchase the single story terrace house might be just 100,000 from 1 million. From 100,000, the targeted market, they wanted to purchase a single story terrace house in Ipoh. So from the 100,000 might be just 20,000 people wanted to get a single story terrace house in Ipoh, and then the penetrated market, meaning the available space or even the available product that is already located in Ipoh. From 20,000, they might choose other types of development in Ipoh. So in the end, your market might just consist about 7 to 8,000 people that really wanted to get the property, the type of property, the location, and then the area that they want, meaning the product, they chose your product as compared towards your competitors product. Okay, all right. So market share can also be defined as the percentage of all sales within a market that is being held by one brand or product or company. So the market share can be measured in several ways. However, the two most important measures are by, number one is we look at the sales revenue. Number two is the sales volume. So even though in real estate profession, the usage of calculating financial gains is very important. So of course, when we want to offer up our product, we wanted to gain profit. Nobody wanted to sell a product and gain losses. So this is a good measurement also on how we are going to see the successfulness of our marketing plan or program. Like this one, a case study by Apple and Samsung. You can see the dominance, the market share. The number of units from all others. For Samsung is about 25% only. The others is about 70%. So for Apple, market share is around 10%. But that doesn't necessarily translate towards the general number of revenue. For the all other smartphone provider, the revenue is only about 20 to 25%. For Samsung, Samsung is a bit higher, 30%. Also for Apple, the revenue is also quite high at more than 30%. So you can see the number of units, sometimes they don't translate towards the number of revenue being generated. So sometimes this kind of product, even though they sell a lot more, but the margin of profit is quite small. And operating profit, you can see the margin of profit here that you can get from all of the other smartphone. For example, they're selling at 1,000 ringgit, so the margin of profit is around 50 ringgit. But for Apple, they're selling the lower number of unit, but the revenue and also operating profit is very high. Like they sell iPhone 11 at 5,000 ringgit and they can get the operating profit maybe 2,000 ringgit. So their cost is just around 3,000 ringgit. So their product share, even though it's much smaller, they can generate more revenue and also more operating profit. Okay. So this is a caricature showing what is happening between Samsung and Apple. They're trying to get the market share, and other smartphone providers like this one. Before this, BlackBerry is a very prominent smartphone provider, but in 2020, 2021, they are already very in decline, and I have to pick up from the other big smartphone providers in the world. And then we look at the demand. So demand is an economic principle that describes a consumer's desire and willingness to pay for a price for specific goods or services. So think of demand as your willingness to go out and buy a certain product. Like market demand is the total of what everybody in the market wants. So like put in the market a very luxurious villa or even condominium, but not everybody can have the ability to purchase that villa. Everybody, of course, wanted to get that high-end villa, 2 million ringgit, 3 million ringgit, but not everybody have the what we consider as a qualified customer to purchase that kind of property. Okay, so this is a case study of an organization trying to sell their product. So you have a prospective customers here. They can show the design of the product, what they are offering, how much is the land area, what is the type of building materials being used, number of rooms, the type of roof, the type of wall, the type of door and everything. So having your product being illustrated in a 3D model like this is a good way to market them, as people like to see products on the physical condition, so they can see, they can look, and even they can touch and feel the product, as compared to just reading the design or even viewing it on a digital form. So you can see from that also we need to find out several factors of the demand, like market potential, the sales forecasting, and we need to find out also the competitors pricing. Like you're selling a single story terrace house at 200,000 ringgit, your competitor is selling at 170. So you have to find out what's the difference and how you are justifying that your product is much higher in price as compared towards your competitors. And then we look at the new household formations, age structure, the household income, the credit facilities that people can obtain, the price of the substitute units, the ownership cost, the expectation. Expectation we can relate towards the quality of the products being offered, and economic factors right now. So if there is a recession or even a property boom, you have to factor in these conditions as well. You have to look at the bigger picture, the macro aspect also. And lastly is about market conditions. So estimating demand is more complex than estimating supply. It is because nobody knows how much demand will be able to be generated, what's the buyer's response, and what is the current competition. So demand is actually a guessing game, but we use the statistics, we use the figures to make a very good guess of the ability of the prospective buyers to purchase this kind of product. So common method of estimating property demand is by using economic based analysis, and this method is based on economic and market characteristics that influences people choices. Okay, so this is another case study. We can see this one is being provided in Singapore, is in Malayan Park. So previously in this area there is no land, there is no building, no nothing whatsoever. It's just part of the water surface. So but based on the forecasted demand, we can see that in Singapore they wanted a 5-star resort. So that's why they built up a 5-star resort here. It's a Marina Bay Sands, even with the casino, because they see there is a demand for this. People coming to Singapore, they want to indulge in the luxurious fine and dining, and even getting the best accommodation, and at the same time maybe get some entertainment from this kind of casinos. Okay, the reality also, based on the this picture you can see the Malayan Park, based on the marketing aspect, is very nice. Nobody here, the view is very picturesque, without any tourists, so looks very lovely and very romantic. But sometimes the reality, you can see the same statue with another angle, full of crowded people. wanting to be at this center of tourist attraction. Okay. So other than that, the estimating methods that we can use for inferential analysis, you can include together the kind of variables such as population, employment, income, house price, the change in number of household, the demolition of housing, the actual vacancies, the actual housing under construction. So this kind of data, usually they can get from statistical department or even from our own valuation department. So they have this National Property Information Center that keeps tracks on all of the property information currently right now in Malaysia. And then we also have the market survey based analysis. So this one is more towards you finding out from the current market. Either you use a questionnaire or interview. You find out what's the size of the local population, the migration, the direct generation, the spillovers, demand from alien buyers, and this means foreigner, employment, the age structure, the income level, and even the property prices. So this one you can gather up opinions from people, and not only you just use the secondary data from the departments, from the other departments, but you can get first hand data from the people. And then also we have a model based estimation. You can insert the variable physical, location, economy, such as land sizes, the floor sizes, type of property, age of building condition, and also property prices. So model based estimation is more like you're using softwares. You're using softwares to help you predict what is the current demand, what is the current supply, what type of property that people want, what is the floor sizes that people want, everything. So this kind of software is very useful, as you are not making a guess based on data that you plug from the sky, but actually you use real-time data you put inside the software, and then the software can generate the analysis and also the results. And then you can use the results that you get from the software to help you make better decision in marketing. Okay. So that's about it for our lecture today. So if you have any questions, you can contact me through WhatsApp or Telegram, or even through my Padlet, and then we can go through the information or lecture in the tutorial session. So inshallah we will be meeting again through online meeting sessions, and for this week I hope everybody is also doing well, and inshallah we will be seeing you again in the next recorded lecture session. Alright, so assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.